Welcome back to another episode of the Casey Campbell Podcast. Casey Campbell with you, of course. Pleased to be joined by Max Kahler. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing good. So,
Good.
wrapping up I know we're a couple days away from the start of the new year and stuff, but you had a pretty jam-packed year in 2024. Can you, there's there are a lot of ups and a lot of downs, but how was your year in racing?
Overall, pretty good. Like you said, there were lots of ups and downs. Very interesting year, kind of unexpected. But I think overall, kind of looking back on it, it could have been a lot worse. Won some races, won a big race with the Midwest Tour at the Dells, so can't all be that bad. And I mean, I think it's been one of our better years. Most of the tracks we went to this year, we were fast, competitive, was up there, battling for the win. So it was a really fun year overall.
Yeah. When you talk about like, I know you kind of bounced around a lot of places, part of the Quickie program again. Um, I know that it's on top of trying to go out there and win races, you're also trying to go out there and try to compete with all these with six other guys trying to win the cup and all that fun stuff. So what was that year? What was that like this year, trying to balance, trying to win races, but also trying to win the program and stuff like that?
Yeah, it makes it a lot more interesting. Not only are you racing on a Saturday night against whoever's out on the track, but you're also racing against the other six drivers that are a part of the program. So it's fun. It's fun to watch, see how everyone's doing on the track, see what everyone's doing off the track with the community service stuff, and it makes it more interesting for sure. You're always trying to, it's kind of different for me. I'm racing against two of them for the most part here in the Midwest. So you're always trying to beat them when you're racing against them and hopefully finish better than all the other six did wherever they are in the country. So it's a lot of fun being a part of the program. It adds one more variable into the year and one more thing to follow and six more drivers to try and beat pretty much.
Yeah. Um, I got to ask you that win at Dell's in August. What was that like for you? To go out there and you know to win a big race like that, at a time when you really needed it. What was it like to go out there and get your first career Midwest Tour win? Because you're never going to forget. No one ever forgets the first time they did something.
Yeah, it was awesome. I mean, it was like you said, a much needed win at a very interesting time in the season. And I don't know. I mean, it was just perfectly timed, and we were just really fast. At the Dells, we've raced there a lot with the Live for Five series, with the Midwest Tour, with the Tundra series. So we kind of have that place somewhat figured out, and everything just kind of came together and had a good setup, and was able to just dominate. I think we qualified like seventh, so it wasn't the best, but we started, I think, ninth or something on the field. Took the lead fairly early and just set sail. Me and Andrew Morrissey had a pretty good battle late on in the race, but longer the race went on, or excuse me, longer the run went on, the better we got relative to the other drivers. So yeah, it was an awesome win.
Yeah. So I think this year you got to work with a lot of different things. Working with Nick Swish. So if you
Yeah.
have, if for people that may not know, I know just kind of maybe explain what that is and yeah, and what you kind of did with it.
Yeah, so the Nicholas Ritchell Foundation, they're very similar to a Make-A-Wish organization, which, helps young adults who are battling cancer, helps fulfill their last wish. And the Nicholas Ritchell Foundation tries to target kids who have kind of, well, they're young adults now that have graduated from that Make-A-Wish category, which is children under the age of 18. So we're able to help them out. One thing in particular we're able to do was fulfill a wish for a young man named Angel, and his wish was to visit a famous racetrack and drive a sports car around it. So I thought, that was pretty cool, with a wish being related to racing and able to help him and fulfill his wish. And then we were able to help raise a bunch of money to go towards other wishes for the program. So it was really cool and really, a humbling experience being able to work with an organization like that. And it really shows you, just how fortunate I am, everyone is to just have their health, and something that a lot of us take for granted, but I definitely will, be fond of the time I spent helping them, and hopefully we can continue helping them in the coming years.
Yeah. Um, on top of all that, you're also in your senior year of college.
Yeah.
You were going to you're going to Northern Illinois for a degree in engineering. What's that been like just to go through this last year? Because you're heading into if correct me if I'm wrong, your final semester.
Yeah. It's
What's that?
been
What's that going to be like?
hopefully not as hectic as it was this fall. It was a lot. I mean, it's not that bad because once school starts, racing kind of starts to trend downward. Last couple months of the season are really sporadic and it's not nearly as busy as it is over the summer, but it still gets a little hectic there at times. So hopefully it's a little better. I think racing around here starts beginning of April, and I think my classes end the beginning of May. So I have about a month where they overlap. But before then, obviously, have a lot of time out in the shop, getting cars ready, and a lot of time, procuring sponsors for the upcoming season. So hopefully we'll get through it. I know we'll get through it, but yeah, we'll see.
One of the most impressive things I think I've learned about you in the last this year that I've gotten to really know you is you're really good with your partners and stuff. What's it like to go out and to get bunch of partners to come on board and help you out with this effort? Because I know it takes all of them.
Yeah, for sure. It definitely does take all of them. We wouldn't be able to run nearly the amount of races we do without all their support. But it's a lot of work. It's a lot of time I dedicate to going out there and finding these sponsors and talking to them and selling them on advertising on my race car. And it's a lot of work, but it allows us to go out there and race and win races and put their company in victory lane.
Yeah, absolutely. So I know we're a few short days away from 2025. What are your 2025 plans? If you could, I don't know if they've been finalized yet or what you're looking at, or if you want to tell the audience where they can see Max Kahler next year.
Yeah, so it's going to be a very similar schedule to what it was in 2024. It's not quite finalized yet, but we'll probably end up running all the Life for Five series. The majority of the Midwest tour, probably will miss a couple here or there. And just whatever else we can run, maybe some weekly stuff down at Grundy. We'll see, just run everything we can run and hopefully try and win a bunch of big races this year, next
Um,
year.
let me ask you this, like, what was your experience like with the program this year then compared to when you were in the program 3 years ago?
It was interesting. It was, I would say, a lot more engaging. I think in 2021, it was more so uh, like, you're part of the program, but you're kind of off doing your separate thing. And this year, it seemed like, we were brought back into the program and in these meetings a lot more and was able to kind of get more knowledge. We learned a little bit more this year than we would have in 2021, with the meetings about personal development and interview coaching and that sort of stuff. I think that really helps, and it's definitely it adds one more thing to the program where it's not just the exposure and it's not just the financial help. It's also what they're teaching you once a month in the meeting. So it was really cool, and I think the program is definitely has improved and is in the right direction to really be awesome.
Absolutely. And then really this year, what's the biggest thing Max Kahler is going to take away from 2024, just overall?
Biggest thing overall, I don't know, probably just keep going. It can always be worse. So you just kind of got to take the lows with the highs and keep going.
All right. Well, Max Kahler, thank you so much for the time as always, and look forward to talking with you later in 2025.
Sounds good. Thanks for having me.